Hmm. Good morning, guys. This is going to be a quick one today. Um, I have to teach. So people were like, oh man, that must be great getting to teach people and do things like that all the time. And I got to admit, it is really cool. And people are like, how did you get that? How do I do that? And that got me to thinking, um, there's a couple things to look at and think about. You know, um, when when I'm teaching, uh, I try to give my all. Okay, and when I give my all, I don't worry about what are what are people thinking about my dress, and what do they think about my tattoos, and what do they think about this and that. I show them my merit by how I present the information and stuff like that. And I think so many people get wrapped up in teaching as the profession, where you have to you have to be than better than your peers, better than your students, better than, you have to be the best. And they forget about the pedagogy, and they start thinking about, oh, that suit would make me look really good um, during my lecture. You know, when I was teaching at the collegiate level, I wore this. I wore flannels. Um, I wore a bunch of t-shirts and things of that nature, and I didn't really care. And the reason why I didn't care was I knew that the information that I was presenting and the way that I was presenting it didn't didn't need help from what I was wearing. Um, when my students asked questions, um, I would make it so that they would want to ask questions. I didn't treat them like they were lower than. I joked with them. I played around with the question. Um, you know, uh, it just in general, my outlook on teaching was such that um, I'm not better than anybody. As a matter of fact, I'm not an expert in my fields of study. Um, I've my theory is I've made so many mistakes that I know what mistakes not to make, um, when when it comes to doing a project. And so many guys get wrapped up in showing that they're the expert. I'm no expert. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I just know that if you press this button when the machine's here, it's gonna crash it. So don't do that. you know. Um, so that's kind of my theory of pedagogy, my theory of teaching. That's the pedagogy is the scientific uh, replacement for teaching. Um, but you know, I think that so many of the teachers get wrapped up in what they're presenting and how they look presenting it, that they forget their students themselves. And then that brings me to the second part of this quick morning. Um, you know, I got paid to hop on a plane yesterday, fly out here, to Colorado, which is freaking amazing. Right there's the Rocky Mountains out of my Airbnb, um, and it's awesome. Uh, you know, it's one of those things that I really enjoy. And when I look back, I have people that say, "Hey, I want to do what you do. Teach me so that I can be a teacher. And to that, I say, that is great. I love the enthusiasm. I love the wantingness and willingness to share your knowledge. But realize it's taken me 29 years to get where I'm at. um, Not only 29 years of figuring out the rights, the wrongs, 29 years of wasting money on quote unquote stupid projects, 29 years of hardship, of some months I didn't have anything. um Josh Rickards on here. Let me tell you a story. You want to be a teacher, all right? There was a phone call made from my wife about a year into me starting business. um we had $12 in the account. $12, two people working in opposite directions, 30 minutes from my house. I want to be a teacher. You've got to have the support system. And Josh and Brian and Chuck and all those core group of guys that still talk to me and hang around me and support me and tell me, hey, what you're doing is awesome, keep it up, even when I'm having a bad day and it's not the greatest. They pulled money together and made sure that me and Kim were able to get to work so that I could get to this point. Okay. That shows the support system that you have to have if you want to be a teacher, a good teacher. You have to have people to support you. You have to have people that want to learn. You have to be able to find out how each individual person learns. Okay. Teaching it takes a village, it takes a community, because there are times when you're not going to be on your game, you're not going to be on point. I try to limit those as much as possible, and I try to make sure that as my day progresses, I make up for it. um, I try to make sure that if there's a question asked, I write it down, that I can't answer. I write it down. I get them an answer um, within a reasonable amount of time, so that I can research it and find out. Then I can test it, and then I can present it to them. Okay. Um, it's things like that that make a teacher. Okay. It's not the goddamn clothes. It's not the guy standing up in front of the classroom in a three-piece suit telling you about the philosophy of ancient Greece. That's not pedagogy. It's a form of pedagogy, but teaching is what the fathers and mothers do with their children. Okay, that's teaching. That's educating. So many people get lost in all the excess of educating, and it pisses me off. And it's days like today where I really step back and I go, I got paid to hop on a jet plane from Miami to Colorado. I met new people, I saw new sights, and I get to go into a factory. I get to affect people's lives, livelihood. Okay. And I get paid for it. This is like highway robbery because I'm getting the best of it. And to me, that's what teaching is I'm fulfilled. I'm getting the best of everything. And I hope that I am in return giving the best that I have to those students, and they feel fulfilled. Um, you know, if you have an expertise, then then teach it if you're able to. And some people are not cut out to be teachers. You know, I learned how to run a lathe from old man Larry, and it was, you know, take take a pizza, a 6-pack, and a bag of smoke over, and there you are. All right, old man Larry, here's your package. um, we go inside. He says, "Sit down." Not in those few words, um, but I sit on a stool. He waits about 30 minutes, and he's like, "Are you gonna sit there, or are you gonna F and push a broom and clean up my shop?" And I did. I didn't know what I was supposed to be doing. And then he about 10, 15 minutes later, it seemed like forever, um, he was like, "Are you going to push that broom all day, or are you going to come over here and hold this for me?" And so that was what I call the bullshit test. Like, are you here for the reason you're here, or do you think you want to learn this? Um, and with that being said, that was my introductory to running a lathe, and I'll never forget that. And that man lives in my heart, and always will. Um, but that's a teacher. He doesn't care about the language. He doesn't care about what people think of him. He wants you to learn how to use that piece of machinery. And it doesn't affect his life whether I learn or not. And that's what people get mixed up so often. Um, Teaching is a two-way street. I can affect your life, but your disregard for learning does not affect whether or not I'm going to progress into something else. I know what I know. I don't need to teach you, you know. Um, One of the funny things that I always get is, yeah, teachers teach because they can't do. Well, you know, I build machines in a one-car garage, and I fly around the United States to show people how to use their machines. I'm pretty sure that I'm doing what I'm talking about. Not to say there are guys out there that are not doing it, or that are half-assing it and making the teaching profession look bad. But that's one of those comments that always kind of trips my trigger, because a lot of these technical teachers, um, they they are doing stuff. Just because you don't see it doesn't mean they're not doing. Um, so as you guys progress into technical fields, find the people that you interact with and that are moving up the chain, and learn from them, and realize that that is your education. And when the new guy comes on, don't try and be superior to him. Try and support him. Okay. And as you support him, make sure that he's allowed to make mistakes, and you harass him about the mistakes, because that's going to let him know that A, you care, B, you're looking at it, C, you're understanding it, and D, you're going to help him correct it. Okay. Um, and when I say harass, I don't mean like berate him about it. I mean harass, like joke, like, hey, remember that time you pulled the pressure plug on the cat and all the oil just shot out in your face? Stuff like that. So with that being said, I got to have some breakfast. I got to have some coffee, and I got to get out to teaching. So I will catch you guys on the flip side, and I wish you the best of luck in your day. And if you want to become a teacher, then do it. All right. Later.